The flickering gaslight cast long, dancing shadows across the cluttered workshop, each cog and spring on the workbench seeming to hold its breath. Elias Thorne, a man whose genius was as undeniable as his reclusiveness, wiped grease from his brow. His eyes, sharp and intense, fixed on the hulking form before him. This wasn't merely an automaton. It was his magnum opus, a companion forged of brass and clockwork, imbued with an intelligence that bordered on the uncanny. He called him Cogsworth. Cogsworth, with his gleaming optics and a perpetual, almost thoughtful whir, was more than just a marvel of engineering. He was Elias's confidant, his only friend in a world that often misunderstood or feared his unconventional brilliance. For years, they had worked in secret, perfecting devices that whispered of magic and science intertwined. But their latest project, hidden beneath a canvas drape in the darkest corner of the workshop, was different. It hummed with an energy that made the very air crackle, a low, resonant thrum that Elias couldn't quite decipher, even after months of painstaking calibration. One rain-lashed night, a frantic banging echoed through the workshop. Elias, startled, motioned for Cogsworth to remain still. A cloaked figure burst in, breathless, rain dripping from their hood. It was Lyra, a street urchin Elias had occasionally hired for errands, her face pale with terror. "They're coming. Master Thorne, the Guild, they know about the machine." The Inventors Guild, a powerful and secretive organization that controlled all technological advancements in the city of Viridia, had long viewed Elias with suspicion. His independent research, his refusal to share his schematics, and now the rumors of his latest creation had made him a target. But how could they know? The machine was his most guarded secret. A device he believed could harness the very essence of elemental energy, a power that could change the world or shatter it. A heavy thud vibrated through the floorboards. Then another, the rhythmic, metallic clang of Guild Enforcers' armored boots grew louder, closer. Elias's heart hammered against his ribs. He had to protect the machine, and more importantly, Cogsworth. "Activate defensive protocols, Cogsworth," he commanded, his voice tight with urgency. Cogsworth's optics flared, and with a series of precise clicks and whirs, hidden panels in the workshop walls slid open, revealing an array of ingenious traps and countermeasures. The workshop door splintered inward, revealing a phalanx of grim-faced enforcers, their arcane-infused weapons glowing menacingly. Elias grabbed a strange, multi-barreled pistol from his workbench, a weapon of his own design. "Stay behind me, Lyra," he yelled. Even as Cogsworth moved with surprising speed, deploying a cloud of dense, disorienting smoke that momentarily blinded the intruders. Chaos erupted, gears whirred, steam hissed, and the air filled with the clang of metal on metal as Cogsworth, surprisingly agile for his bulk, engaged the lead enforcers, his powerful limbs deflecting blows and his internal mechanisms whirring with focused determination. Elias, a brilliant mind but no warrior, fired his pistol, sending bolts of crackling energy that ricocheted off armor. Lyra, surprisingly brave, darted around, pulling levers and activating more of Elias's defensive mechanisms, her small hands surprisingly steady. But the Guild was relentless. More enforcers poured in, their numbers overwhelming. A searing bolt of magic struck Cogsworth, sending sparks flying and causing his movements to falter. Cogsworth, Elias cried, seeing the damage to his companion's core mechanisms. The mechanical companion stumbled, his optics dimming. "The machine, Master Thorn!" Lyra shrieked, pointing to the corner. One of the enforcers, larger and more menacing than the rest, had bypassed their defenses and was tearing away the canvas drape. The low hum intensified, growing into a deep, resonant throb that vibrated through their very bones. The air grew heavy, charged, as the last of the canvas fell, revealing the machine in its full, terrifying glory. A swirling vortex of contained elemental energy, pulsing with raw power. The lead enforcer let out a gasp. It wasn't just a power source. It was something far more ancient, far more dangerous than the Guild had ever imagined. Elias knew he had only one choice. With a desperate cry, he lunged for the machine's central console, his fingers flying across the controls. "Cogsworth, initiate emergency overload, now." With a final strained whir, Cogsworth's optics flared to full brilliance, one last time. A silent acknowledgement of his master's command. The pulsating sphere of the machine intensified, glowing with an unbearable light. The enforcers recoiled, shielding their eyes. The hum became a roar, a deafening crescendo that shook the very foundations of the workshop. Then a blinding flash. When the smoke cleared, the workshop was a ruin. Walls were scorched, machinery lay twisted and broken, and a gaping hole marred the ceiling, open to the stormy night sky. The Guild enforcers, dazed and disoriented, slowly picked themselves up, their faces etched with confusion and fear. But Elias Thorn was gone, and so was Cogsworth. All that remained of the machine was a faint, lingering warmth in the air, and a single, intricately carved brass gear, still slowly spinning on the scorched floor. The Guild had failed to seize the power they coveted. But where had the inventor and his mechanical companion vanished to? And what exactly had that machine been capable of to cause such a complete and utter disappearance? The city of Viridia would never be the same, haunted by the whispers of the inventor who vanished into thin air, and the mystery of the power he had unleashed.